How is it going, folks? Welcome back to Park to Prem. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Today is the start of a full week of Park to Prem action. Last week, 3 episodes. This week, I've got you covered each and every weekday, starting today where we are ending the season in the Championship, our second season in this division. And of course, 3 games left of the season. We're playing them all live today, 2 away days as well. And I'm rather excited for things. Heading into this episode, we are starting things off in 3rd place, but a game in hand on the teams above us. Our fate is entirely in our own hands today. Win 3 games out of 3, we're in the Premier League next year. Failed to do that, we're in the playoffs. Both are absolutely amazing. I want to win the league. I want to win promotion. Let's go see if we can make it happen, shall we? Today, by the way, is episode number 80 of Park to Prem. Massive thank you to you guys for the support over the last couple of weeks. The views have actually been up on episodes, which is really cool. I feel like at the moment, we're at a really pivotal part of this save game. And whilst I'm sure for some people, they think, oh, you get to the Premier League and that's that done. No. This is Park to Prem and beyond. I want to win everything here at Guernsey, but for now at least, we're focusing here on the Championship, where we have Coventry away, Reading at home, and then to end the season, QPR away. All 3 of the teams we play today are in the bottom half. We really should be ending today promoted. Now, of course, last episode we had 2 massive results. We beat Norwich City 2-0, we then beat Burnley 3-0, and having had a little bit of a blip in our form, I feel like we go into this situation ready and prepared. I didn't notice this at the time, but our game today against Coventry was selected for TV, so as I mashed the spacebar button to continue forward to the point to record the episode, all the other games around us were played. Norwich won, unfortunately. Peterborough won, unfortunately. The only silver lining, Aston Villa did fail to win. So they are behind us, having played a game more. But in terms of the overall complexion, it really is Peterborough and Norwich at this point. I think we are going to be fighting for those top 2 promotion spots. Today's first opposition are Coventry. They are down in the relegation zone. They were predicted to be down there, but they've had a pretty rough year. And as for the away day, we're heading to the Coventry Building Society Arena, which I think used to be called the Rico Arena. I know Coventry have had a lot of complications when it comes to their home ground, but we're going to head there for an away day to kick things off today. 32,500 seater capacity. That would be a rather big ground in League One. I'm sure Coventry want to win this. So for today's first away day, we have got 2. We're heading to Coventry, leaving Guernsey down on the, well, I was going to say the south coast of England. It's nearer the north coast of France, really. We are heading to Coventry and to the Coventry Building Society Arena, which is, well, it's right here. And I'll tell you what, it looks like there could be a good car park. This stadium was called the Rico Arena. I don't know if Rico still have anything to do with it. I mean, who is Rico? What is Rico? I assume it's a business of some kind. Either way, Rico's still written on the ceiling, but it's definitely not called that anymore. And in terms of car park, oh my word. I mean, look, standard car park in the middle, but look at this. This is art. Look at these parking spaces around the edge. I'm a very easy man to please. I feel like there's got to be something in this big bit next to the stadium. Like, what is this bit attached? There has to be something interesting going on inside. Oh, there's dots. There's dots. I'm going in. We appear to be in some kind of exhibition hall. I mean, this isn't quite the away day I imagine. Can I move around? Can I move here? I'm not sure what I was expecting inside the giant building next door, but it just appears to be some kind of convention centre. I thought it was going to be more interesting. Is there anything different on any of these dots if we go over here? It's more exhibition hall. It's just an exhibition hall connected to a football stadium. Also, is that a bedroom? Is this another hotel connected to the stadium? Wait, we can go in here. How good's the view? Can I watch a match whilst I'm in bed? I'll tell you what, you definitely could. Solid toilets, maybe the showers a bit small. I like big wet room showers. Does anyone hate the small boxy showers? I feel like once you experience a nice shower, it ruins every other shower for you. I think that's my issue. As for the football stadium, unusual situation going on here. Mid-away day, my internet's died. My internet has stopped working. Do we just cancel the away day now? What happens here? I mean, the good news is that Football Manager is an offline game. Do I even score Coventry based on what I've just seen there? Coventry City, based on what I saw, I'm just going to give you 5 out of 10. It was in the middle. Maybe it could have gone up a little bit, but we'll never know. It was never meant to be. It's the away day that wasn't today. I'll tell you now, I'm really hoping the internet's back for the QPR away day in a few game weeks' time, because otherwise, well, I know what you guys are like. You're going to be rioting in the comments about the lack of away days. I can't help it if BT, British Telecoms, unplug my internet. I'm sorry. I'm livid. Let's play some Football Manager. I'm beginning to wonder if the guy who hated away days in my comment section recently, maybe he unplugged my internet. I'm being sabotaged so I can't bring you away days. It's the only logical explanation. Anyway, head on, Football Manager mode now. No more away day action. We're focusing on this game here. Coventry away. We're sticking pretty much with the same team that finished up last game. Cooper is going to start. He's been in some really, really good form. Last couple of games came up big for us. 2 goals, of course, against Burnley. Prior to that, a goal against Norwich. Looked like a real threat. And with that in mind, he is going to start. Gadia drops to the bench. This feels like one of the rare situations ever at Guernsey where we have more than 2 strikers performing well. It feels a little unusual, but Gadia, I mean, in terms of super subs, a very good option to have. So with a win here, we could move back up to second place. That is very much the aim of the game. This is, of course, the end of season triple header. Lots of Football Manager to be played in the next, 20 to 30 minutes, hopefully. 3 wins is going to be the order of the day. Coventry, interestingly enough, are playing a 4-4-2. That is a system we've matched up very well against, and I have just spotted they've got Wayne Beckford at centre-back. Remember Wayne? Love Wayne. We sold him to Celtic, you might remember. He's now been on loan at Coventry for the year. He's played absolutely awful for them. I'm hoping that he's going to just be a little sleeper agent for us today. If he wants to give us the ball, it would be appreciated. What I don't want to see is him scoring from a set piece if he does go forward for them. But Coventry, having put the ball into the box, have given it away. And in fact, we're now bringing it forward. Machete cutting through the middle. I will click on Beckford. We'll keep an eye on him. Put him under the microscope. Put him under some pressure. Keep that name above his head. As we are back in possession, Scotty Williams with the captain's armband for us at right centre-back. Back to Tejera. Schmid with the ball. It has now been a week since I last touched Football Manager again. It feels like a little while. It feels odd to be back. I've been sat playing over these games in my head again and again and again. And, I was hoping that Beckford was going to get a red card or something there. Unfortunately, he's put in an inch-perfect tackle. And now it's Coventry bringing it forward. Charlton as well. Is that Jack Charlton, the guy that we had playing for us at right back in League 2? I think it might well be. This is just a big Guernsey reunion. Addons bringing it forward, puts it in. Kevan Williams, he leaps like a salmon. He stings like a bee. He runs fast like a buffalo. He's an absolute ox in the middle. He's made it 1-0. Battling away on this near side. Abubakari laid it wide to Adam. He ran to the byline, and we've seen this a lot this year. The left wing back driving in the cross. He drived in the cross. Straight onto Williams' forehead. He has scored it. Inside 10 minutes, we take an early lead. I don't expect goal difference to be a factor here, but just looking at things, we do have much better goal difference than both Norwich and Peterborough, which puts us in a good little situation. And if this game stayed as it is right now at 1-0, we would move back up into second. But of course, we are not going to settle for that. We want more goals. We want to extend this lead if we can. We might have a chance here because Walder's going to put it in. Adam back post puts it through the goalkeeper's legs. And I'll tell you what, the left wing-back's been absolutely mad. 2 goals to the good. Ideal start to this game. Really, really happy with what we've seen so far. We've only created a handful of chances, but we've taken both of them. Dominating the ball as the away side. Certainly what we want to see. And having got a 2-goal lead, kind of content now just to see this out. Defensive frailty is something that I think has plagued us in past years, but this year especially, we've been having more clean sheets than ever. This system that we play with the 3 centre-backs, the defensive midfielders, it just gives us such a solid foundation. And especially in a game like this, against Coventry, who as the home team now have to feel pressured to go on the attack, we can sit back and just look to hit them on the break again and again and again. It's 2-0 at the break here. Coventry have created nothing. We nearly got a goal hit on there from a free kick. And I don't think there's much to add here. It's just been a great 45. Free kick for Coventry, or rather a corner for Coventry, I should say. It's put in the middle. Setford is going to pluck that out of the air, confident as you'd like. He's not had a lot to do today, the goalkeeper. Of course, the goalkeeper who does have, I'll just remind you, a release clause in his contract. I think irrespective of how this season ends, be it with promotion, be it with, a playoff finish, be it bottling the playoffs in a couple of episodes' time. What I would like to do is get Setford's release clause gone, because he has been a really, really critical part of our team this year. He has been, just one of the big key components, I think, of our success. Yes, he's had the odd game where he's not really shown up, but he has been a very, very reliable player. And to be honest, I think you could apply that to a lot of the players in our team. Abubakari looking to pick out Cooper. Beckford running back to goal, and the sleeper agents worked. I've manifested that. I clicked on him, and that's happened because of me. What just happened? Can we please have a round of applause, please, for, Guernsey legend Wayne Beckford. Look at this defending here. Doesn't know whether to pass it to the keeper or dribble. In the end, he does neither. And Cooper scores the easiest goal he's scored all season. With a 3-goal lead now, I am going to use this as just a chance to rotate things around, I think, a little bit. Williams is struggling a tad, so I'm going to bring on Gadia for him. Elsewhere, McKillop is going to come on in the midfield, I think, for Percy Donald. And you know what, Teixeira, you're carrying a little bit of a, well, I was going to say you're carrying a little bit of a knock. He's not, but he's played a lot of minutes this year, and with his injury proneness, if I can just wrap him up in bubble wrap and remove him from the field of play in a game like this, I'm kind of happy to do that. I don't see us blowing a 3-goal lead in the next 18 minutes. Coventry have created very little, and to be honest, a 4th goal feels more likely on the cards. Machete bringing it forward here, gives it down the line to Volder. He's going to cross it, and Gadia is there, and Gadia smashes it in. It's 4-0 here. It's another beautiful goal. There's another goal that's come via a wing-back. And that is game, set, and match now. Machete brought the ball out really well here, drifted into a wide area, pulled some players across, gave it to Voldo, who's already got 1 assist, and then a low-driven cross, and Gadia on his weaker foot. That is a sensational finish. We had 3 games to play today. I needed 3 wins today to get promoted. We've passed the first test with flying colours here. This has been a top performance away from home. 4-0, you can see the sea of green ratings from our own players. We've turned up when it really, really mattered. Walder got 2 assists in this game. This man's been absolutely exceptional. Would love to get him in on loan next year if we do get promoted, or even if we don't get promoted. I'd quite like him back. Going to tell the players I'm very, very happy with the way that they played. That is exactly what we needed to kick off this tricky run of results. With that result, we now move 1 point ahead of Peterborough, 4 points ahead of Aston Villa, which is really good to see, and only 2 points behind Norwich. And with our goal difference, if Norwich were to draw a game and we were to win a game, we would go to the top of the table. We could still win the championship this year. That said, still plenty of football in action left to be played, including the next game, which is against newly promoted Reading. Of course, they were a team that had that big tycoon takeover last year. And, well, with that, they have performed exceptionally well. In fact, you can see, just looking at things, they've climbed up to 14th all of a sudden. They're doing kind of well, Reading. They've been in some pretty good form as well. We have to be wary against them. We're playing them in a week's time, but as the home team, we have to back ourselves to win this next one. Okay, gang, 1 week later, Reading up next. Little bit of news going into this game. Annoying news as well. 2 injuries in midweek. The first, Patrick Vaughan's, the man who, of course, we sold for 7.5 million. Let's not forget that. We sold him, loaned him back. He's been absolutely rubbish since we've loaned him back, and he's just kind of fallen out of first-team contention. Unfortunately, he's picked up an injury, and in the exact same week, our other right wing-back option, Luke Volder, the man who I was singing the praises of last game, has been in some absolutely sensational form. Unfortunately, he's out, failed his fitness test, so our first 2 right-back choices aren't here. So with that in mind, a little bit of shuffling has had to have been done, including Machete coming in to play right wing back. This is not an area of the pitch I necessarily want to play this man in, but we knew this was a possibility. It's a thing that we could do if we needed to, if an emergency happened. This is very much an emergency now, so good luck, John. I hope you know what you're doing. According to the game, you know what you're doing. And with Machete moving out to right wing back, that does mean McKillop is going to come in to play in the midfield. Sung this guy's praises just a couple of episodes ago. Really, really like the look of him. Of course, we signed him at the start of this year for £130,000. He's actually made 39 appearances this season, has been a really regular part of our team as a super sub, but also starting semi-frequently, especially for a player who is just 19 years old. The rest of the team does remain unchanged. I am going to stick with Cooper over Gadia, despite the fact Gadia did score on off the bench. Both of them have been in some really good form. The only other little bit of news is that with McKillop moving into the starting 11, it opened up a spot on the bench, and I've given it to Dale Davidson. Of course, this man came through our youth intake. He now has a real face. He's not a regen anymore. I mean, he still is, but he's got one of the fake New Gan faces. But the 16-year-old here, really good player, just on the bench. Don't expect to see him today, but if I get bored, if we're winning comfortably, he might make an appearance. And at the same time, we are playing Reading. Elsewhere, Hull City are at home against Norwich. If Hull want to win that game, that would be lovely. Elsewhere, Ipswich Town are taking on Peterborough. So the 2 teams that we're fighting against away from home today. And just as a little reminder, if we win and Peterborough lose, I mean, even if they draw because of goal difference, we will pretty much be promoted today with a game to spare. That said, I do want to win the championship title if we can. Of course, first and foremost, though, I do just want to get promoted. As much as I want to fixate on the possibility of winning the league, nah, that is not the priority today. The priority today is just winning our games. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Let's just make sure we do enough to get over the line. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Reading were a team who were in League One at the same time as us, and during that season we had in League One, they had a tycoon takeover, having bottled the playoffs the year where we managed to get promoted. They went on to get automatic promotion last year. They have settled reasonably well in the Championship, and as a mid-table team, we can't afford to underestimate them. They have got some real quality. They have also been in some pretty good form. They had a change of manager midway through the year that's worked well for them, and they've been on a bit of a recovery mission, so we've got to be at our best. I'm looking at Adam at left wing-back, thinking, well, with the current right wing-back situation, maybe out on the left-hand side, that's where we can expect to have some joy, and oh my word, for a second I thought Adam was about to put a great ball in. He still might have the ball in a dangerous area as he plays it to Williams. He tried to put it back to McKillop. Reading playing it out from the back, but cleared away only as far as Scotty Williams. To Gera, McKillop now with the ball, plays it inside. Lovely build-up play here. Little give and go. Aboubakari, you beautiful man. It's a sensational goal. A 1-2 between the shadow striker and Williams playing as that pressing forward. And with that, we take an early lead here. And I mean, let's just admire Aboubakari's run here. Let's just enjoy it. He's a fairly quick player, lays it off, turns on the afterburners. Williams inches that pass perfectly in front of him, and Williams adds another assist to his collection. Aboubakari adds another goal. It is the dream start, and well, I want to believe it could get more dreamy because there's a kick-off highlight, and with the wind in our sails and a little bit of momentum, maybe we could get a quick-fire double. We've had 75% of the ball inside this first 10 minutes, and we could have a chance here. Adam crosses it in. Williams, oh my word, it's 2-0. He's got a goal and an assist, and it is a quick fire 1-2 that has well and truly put Reading on the back foot. Cooper moving down this near side, of course, brought in January from Queen's Park in Scotland, where he's played in the Scottish Premiership. I think at, what was it, £200,000? Maybe slightly over that. He's looking like a bargain buy, involved in another goal for us. Apparently it was a tight offside. Not tight enough, though. And Adam at left wing back, by the way, is actually catching Williams for assists. These two players that we've just seen link up there, top 2 assisters in this league, and well, that's hardly surprising with the amount of goals we've been scoring recently. Reading with the ball, though. Free kick taken long. De Gea wins a massive header. We've kept 3 clean sheets in a row. I'd love to keep a 4th. And, well, if that is the best that Reading are going to muster up going forward, I'm going to feel confident about keeping a 4th. We're 2 goals up. We're in control. We just need to not do anything silly now with what remains of this game. We've got that early lead like we did against Coventry. I can't believe it. I can't believe... Scott Williams has been sent off. Our captain has been sent off. Don't do anything stupid, he said. Something stupid happened. Now, this is suboptimal for a couple of reasons. The first being that ordinarily I would just move the wing-backs back. Machete has no concept of right-back as a position. So I think we're just going to have to play him as wing-back on support. What I am going to do now is just drop McKillop back to play ball-winning midfielder on defend. In fact, let's tell Machete to defend. Adam will stay on wing-back on attack. Oh, there's a temptation to drop Aboubakari deep as well here, you know. I'm hoping this isn't overly defensive, but I do feel like in a game like this where we do have the lead, we just need to be a little bit sensible. Continue to crowd out the deeper areas of the pitch. We are going to lose our link-up man, which I think is a tad unfortunate. We're not going to be able to get the ball up to the strikers quite as easily. I'm going to tell our players to pass the ball more directly, but also play out from defence. My hope there being is that when we do have the ball at the back, we'll use some shorter passing, but if the opportunity arises to get it to the strikers, we won't be afraid to go direct. But naturally now, it's about defending and seeing out this game. And I know some people are wincing. They hate asymmetric formations. I don't have a right wing back. It's a bit of a nightmare, and the nightmare could get worse because Mustafa Cisse has scored his 12th goal of the season. It's 2-1. This game felt dead and buried. This game felt like it was in the bag. And then Scott Williams, for honestly, it might be the first time ever in Guernsey colours he's got a red card. I don't recall another red card for Scott Williams. What a time for it to happen. What a time to concede a goal. It's 2-1. That was, by the way, Reading's first effort on goal of the entire game, at least on target. In a game that we've looked massively in control of. Yes, we're still in the lead. Yes, it's getting towards half-time. We have to be very aware there's a long 45 minutes ahead. Elsewhere, by the way, Peterborough are unfortunately winning for us. And, well, Norwich are still drawing. So as things stand, we would go top of the table, but it would be 3 teams separated by 1 point. And, oh my God, it'd be a very high-stakes end to the season. I'm going to tell the players here I'm far from pleased. Want to get them a little bit fired up. Cooper's not had the best of games. So, you know what? Early reactionary change here. Let's bring in Gadia. I do feel like maybe we're being a bit too defensive in the midfield, so I'm going to move Aboubakari forward to play as a box-to-box midfielder and Machete on to support. I feel like I'm shuffling things around more than I would like to, really, here, if I'm going to be honest with you, but there's almost a air of needs must at this point. I'm trying to set ourselves up in a way that retains some of our identity that we'd normally play with, but also gives us some maybe slightly more defensive solidity. This would be way simpler if I had a player who could play right back on the pitch. Unfortunately, Machete is not that man. Fortunately, he is in a dangerous area, and he has whipped it in towards Williams, who I thought for a moment was about to make something magical happen. Both wing-backs committed to the attack here have to be a little bit wary of the counter-attack. Reading as the away team naturally would have wanted to sit back in this game and catch us out, and that is certainly still going to be the aim of the game for them, as Schmid, very composed at the back. The youngster, of course, a player who couldn't naturally play centre-back before he joined us. I'm not sure if he still can play naturally centre-back. A centre-mid at heart, we've trained him in this new position. He's looked very good there. And well, we're looking okay in possession here. Ball play towards Gadia, fresh off the bench, beats the keeper to it, falls to Kevan Williams, who tucks it away. It's a bizarre sequence of events, but the end product does not matter. It's a goal. It's fallen to Williams. Gadia may or may not be given an assist for that, but it was Gadia's run for sure, fresh off the bench, getting in behind, turned on the afterburners, and from there, it ricocheted around a lot, but ultimately, the ball has just about crossed the line. Wasn't a powerful finish. We do reinstate our 2-goal lead. We are still ahead in this game. And to be honest, since we made the changes at half-time and just altered things slightly, we have looked very, very good here. Reading have still not had a second shot on target in this game, despite having that extra man. Whilst we've not quite commanded possession in the same way, we're having it in some good areas. Reading are struggling to break us down. And you know what? I think this is a game where we just need some fresh legs into the midfield. Blaine Goller, on you come. I was going to bring in Dale Owen, but you know what? I'm happy with how well Williams is played. He's on for the hat-trick. I can't take him off. Any late changes that I want to do here? You know what? Schmid, move up into the midfield. Darren Dixon, come on down. Fresh legs there. But I don't know. I feel like this game's done. I don't want to say it prematurely. I feel very confident in us at this moment in time. With 5 minutes left, 2 goals to the good, there's a very big temptation just to click on the Around the Grounds tab and see what's going on elsewhere. No, let's focus on what's going on in here. Let's not get distracted by the ifs and buts. We came into this episode knowing we needed wins. We got the first one convincingly. This has not been as simple, but I do feel like we've managed the game really, really well. The tactical tinkering we've done has worked wonders. And while Gadia has looked pretty inspirational on off the bench, he's held it up superbly here. No one in support. And had he scored at the end of that, that would have been a superb goal. 4 minutes of added time, still 3-1 here. Not going to get the clean sheet, unfortunately, but nevertheless, a resilient display, a solid display, a really hard-earned win. And now the question remains, what happened elsewhere? Did Peterborough bottle it? Did Aston Villa win? Did Norwich win? I'll tell you what's happened. Peterborough have won 2-0. Norwich have drawn 0-0. We go top of the league. There's 1 game left of the season, and it's against Queen's Park Rangers, who right now are not in the relegation zone on goal difference. They currently have a 3-way tie with Burnley and Coventry. Oh my word, it's a crazy last day of the season incoming in the Championship. Madness at the top and bottom of the table, and still maybe a little bit of a fight going on for the playoff spots as well. Kevan Williams, another top quality display. This man, 2 goals, 1 assist. Look at his attributes. How's he doing this for us? The man has 5 finishing. The man is an absolute god. We signed him on a free transfer. He was just vibing it out in Jamaica. This year, he now has 43 goal contributions in 44 games. That is absolute madness. The final games of the season are taking place on the 7th of May. We have 1 week to recover. We're going to come back for it. We've got a QPR away day. The away day might be slightly shorter here. I just want to get to the Football Manager action. It's all going to come down to the final day of the season. It's absolute madness at the top. I don't know if I'm emotionally ready. Can you ever be emotionally ready in moments like this? I'm stressed. I don't know, I'm going to talk for the next 10, 15 minutes for this next match. I'll see you in a mo for it. I'm going to go lay down or something. We are going to just get straight into the away day today. QPR, last game of the season. We are heading to London and to near Shepherd's Bush. I've got lost. Here's Shepherd's Bush. Where is Loftus Road? It's somewhere. It's here. Is it just me or does London look very green in this part of the city? Here is the stadium. It's not the sexiest stadium in the world, is it? I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks cool from the outside, and I've never been to the actual stadium myself. It's very blue, mind you. Next door, there is a funky building. That's a very funky building. That is a school. Why is the school so funky? Look, they've even got funky paintings. I mean, this is just a playground. Right, it's Football Manager. Let's look at the stadium. In terms of photosphere options, we have 2. I guess we'll just go to the centre circle and, I was going to say, see what's what. I mean, This looks like a picture that was taken in like 2004. What a depressing day. It's pissing it down. I hope the other photosphere looks better. Also, not good drainage at QPR. Look at this flooding at the front. Disgraceful. And here's another picture of Loftus Road, the other photosphere, where again, it's raining. Does it only rain in QPR? Maybe that's why it's so green, all the area around it. I mean, in terms of the stadium itself, it is one of those older grounds. It's very tucked away, very nestled into its location. But on the whole, it is actually just a nice little coliseum of English football. No one has ever described Loftus Road as the coliseum of English football before, have they? I have just spent 2 minutes looking for a car park. I don't think there's any car parking. QPR fans, if you're watching, is there anywhere to park your car? Am I just blind? The stadium actually looks really impressive in 3D in terms of how well it's been modelled by kind of Google's magical algorithms. Here is the stadium. As I said, it's kind of just nestled in the middle of a very kind of built-up part of the city. It's a nice stadium. Not sure what I think of the colour of the roof. I mean, at least it's got plenty of blue. I feel like it's concerning when the talking part of the away day was the crazy, like, school next door to the stadium. That's usually the indicator that it's not been a great away day. Not many photospheres. I like the stadium architecture. I like how it looks, but there's not a great deal going on, is there? Loftus Road, QPR, please don't be offended by this. 3.5 out of 10. That might be generous as well. Okay, final game of the season. All comes down to this. We are in complete control of our own fate. A win here, we win the league. We should win here as well. QPR down in the drop zone, or at least in the fight in the drop zone. Obviously, Norwich, Peterborough, so close behind us though. We cannot afford to slip up. We have to win this game. A draw would be enough. Probably, maybe. I don't even want that to be a consideration today, though. When it comes to team news for today's game, unfortunately, Gadia has picked up an injury in the last week. Scott Williams is, of course, suspended. Does mean at the back, a little bit of a makeshift look. Darren Dixon, double D, he is going to get the nod to come in and play centre-back where Williams would normally play. Very good player, this 18-year-old. Has been developing really well, too, so going to reward him with a start. Elsewhere in the team, Volder is going to come back in to play at right wing-back. He's been in some really good form. Addons, by the way, won Player of the Month in the Championship, 6 assists in the month of April in 6 games, and also 4 clean sheets. He has been absolutely sensational. More of the same from him, hopefully. In the final third, Cooper, Williams and Aboubakari going to start. Few people have mentioned this. Aboubakari has got 18 goals this season and 0 assists. That is a mad stat. Maybe he'll get a last assist. Well, I was going to say a last assist. A first assist on the last day. It could also be the last assist, I suppose. That would be nice. Besides that, though, we are going to be laser focused on ourselves in this game. It is an away game. It is going to be tricky. But when I look at our players, when I look at our quality, when I look at the opposition, this should be simple. Despite all that, I've not really dared to dream of promotion and what that would mean here at Guernsey. Well, I mean, what it would mean is that the transfer special is just bonkers. I have no idea how much money we'd be given. The reality is that we are going to be going up to the Premier League completely with the plan of, well, what happens when we come back down? I think that would just be how it has to be approached. You know, there's no point in trying to overspend beyond our means, go down and just leave ourselves in a bad situation. Really, I just want to squirrel loads of Premier League money away, get relegated, rebuild in the Championship with a much stronger foundation. Of course, I say all of this, it's not even a surefire thing. Let's not get carried away. We still have to win the league on this final day. Goes without saying, though, if we did get promoted, tomorrow would be a transfer special. That would be fun. 20 minutes into this game, they've not done anything. We've done something, but we've not had a highlight yet. Yeah, 68% of the ball, but nothing coming in terms of meaningful opportunities. Not exactly what I wanted to see in the opening stages here. That said, spoken into existence, maybe a chance for us. Schmid, wide to Adam. The man at left wing back has been absolutely sensational for us. Turns back, crosses it in. Kavan Williams is lurking, nods it towards Cammy Cooper, but he's offside. Don't celebrate it. Sit back down. Oh, it's a disaster. I have just noticed, look, they've got the Guernsey gazebos in the corner at QPR. QPR are secretly Guernsey fans, confirmed. Free kick for us. Williams whipping it in towards Tejera. It was in fact Machete who got his header on it, unfortunately over the bar. Set piece again for us though. Schmid, back post, Tejera, free header. That one has hit the crossbar and gone over. We are knocking on the door. Will QPR let us in? We are yet to find a breakthrough in this game. Elsewhere, well, I was about to check what's going on elsewhere, but I don't know as we sit here right now. Maybe we should be focusing on what's going on this square piece of grass in front of us, as we do have possession. Tejera to Donald. He's going to play it forward towards Williams. He's going to turn it on his pace, gets in there, goes down in a heap. Ball, decided to have been played by the referee. I thought for a second maybe a chance of a pen, but we still are on the attack. Machete, back in his natural habitat of centre mid. Volder on this near side, crosses it in. Kevon Williams, and I'll tell you what, that one is going to count. It's another assist for Volder. It's another goal for Williams. It's his 24th of the season. It definitely feels a little silly that we play with low crosses on, but I feel like with our players, even though we do have the tall player in Williams, just driving the ball in with our pacey forwards, they just get on the end of chances like that and just took them away like we've seen there. Elsewhere, by the way, just looking at the half-time scores, Peterborough still drawing 0-0, Norwich still drawing 0-0. Everything is going as it needs to right now for promotion. We are top of the table with 95 points as things stand. Going to tell the players I'm pleased with the performance. Don't want them to get complacent, but at the same time, when you're playing as well as this, you don't really want to knock the players' morale. We're playing with so much confidence, so much swagger. I just want to see more of it in this second half. Our plate here, I am going to make just a couple of changes, I think. Blaine Goller and McKillop are going to come in for some fresh legs in the midfielder. Bubakari's not been great at centre attacking mid. Going to bring in Dale Owen. You might have noticed Brandon Charles has managed to sneak onto the bench. He has still got 1 year left on his current contract, but today could be his last time ever playing in Guernsey colours if he does go on to make an appearance. As much as I want to give him kind of a super romantic cameo appearance in this final game, at 1-0, I don't feel like we can do that yet. Norwich City are losing 1-0 to Crystal Palace. That is massive. Peterborough still haven't taken a lead in their game. As things stand, we are going up as champions. I still want another goal, but a win here will be enough. A 1-goal lead at the moment. I'd love to make it a second, and well, there might be a chance here. Volder crosses it in. Williams heads over, nearly doubled his tally for the game. Williams to Owen. Nice build-up play here. We won that initial second ball from the goal kick, and now it's Adam crossing it into the middle. It's a searching ball. Cleared away. Cooper gets there, and I'll tell you what, Cammy Cooper, what a time for him to just come alive in our season. Signed in January, has displaced Gadia from the first team, and he just seems to pop up with all these important goals. He's a little poacher, a little fox in the box, and all these second balls we get where Williams jumps and competes. He just finds himself under the ball, and on this occasion he's found the back of the net. Norwich City have just got a goal back. Peterborough still 0-0 in their game, but with 2 goals to 0 here, none of that even matters. This is, well, a crazy end to the season. We had so much pressure on our shoulders at the end of last week into this episode. 5 games at the end of the year. All the pressure on us. Some really tricky scenarios as well, like the sending off against Reading. But despite all of that, we have held our nerve. We have held our bottle. We've continued to play well. And we are the Sky Bet Championship winners. And now I'm sat thinking, oh my God, we're in the Premier League with this squad. What am I meant to do now? This is great. It's amazing. It's going to be a super exciting summer. But if we are just realistic for a moment, this is like 2 seasons too early. We've had a great year. We've had a few players who have had standout performances, but it's impossible not to feel a bit of dread going into the Premier League because we are woefully unprepared. Like this, it happened with Towlaw Town a few years ago for long-term Park to Prem viewers. You might remember we got promoted from the Championship kind of early and came straight back down. That almost feels inevitable here. I feel like I just want a really sensible summer of long-term building. You know, we use the reputation boost, the financial boost of being in the Premier League to lay a solid foundation. Basically, we're Norwich City in real life. We're just going to yo-yo for a bit now, or at least that's what I'm anticipating. Some crazy drama as well, right at the very death. Peterborough scored in the 88th minute, and with that, they moved up to second place. So ourselves and Peterborough, 2 teams predicted to finish in the bottom half, are going to be the 2 teams getting automatic promotion, which is kind of amazing for us because Peterborough are a weaker side than Norwich, undoubtedly in terms of quality. So what it means is with us being promoted with them, there might be another team who's just as bad as us to compete against, which means maybe we won't do like a Derby County and end up with like 12 points for the season, or however many points it was Derby had that year when they were in the Premier League. We lift the league on the final day. Madness. Really simple in the end. It could have been a lot more dramatic. I'm kind of glad it wasn't. Board have set the budget. What are they giving me? What are we getting in the Premier League? Wage budget 350k. Transfer budget 26 million. Just as a little reminder, in the Premier League, you get about £80 million in TV money. Oh my word. I mean, it's a lot of money, but in kind of modern footballing terms and Premier League terms, it's also not a lot of money. I mean, it is a lot of money. I think you know what I mean. Apparently, our fans want us to sign Volder permanently. Bad news there. He's valued at 13.5 to £17 million. I can't afford that. Going into this week, I was kind of expecting, I suppose, us to be in the playoffs. I was expecting today to be the end of season, tomorrow to be the playoff semi-final, potentially Wednesday be the playoff final, and then transfer special to end the week. Nah, we've made it way more simple than that. There's a transfer special tomorrow. If you were wondering, despite losing to us 2-0, QPR still managed to stay up on goal difference because both Coventry and Burnley lost. Burnley losing could actually be a really interesting one. They've been relegated down to League One. Their media prediction was 7th. They might have some very good players that we should consider signing. I mean, Charles Banda, their current right back, looks pretty good. I mean, you have to assume he's going to be trying to force a move. In fact, he looks really good. Or maybe I'm being generous. I'm beginning to wonder how long this transfer special is going to end up being. We might need 3 transfer special episodes to get everything done that I feel like is going to need to be done this summer. I mean, where do we even begin? Our team is it's going to be hard. The reality is that £26.5 million, whilst it seems like a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, when you compare that to Premier League spending and, well, needing to be competitive in the Premier League, not actually that much money. You can see the club vision for next year. Board want us to attempt to avoid relegation. I'm glad that they're kind of realistic about it. Kind of concerned that they want us to play entertaining, attacking football. That could be a recipe for disaster in the Premier League. But I do feel like with our current system and our current approach, it does set us up quite nicely as an underdog team, as I think we've seen at certain points this year. I have to discuss the plans with the players for next year. Lads, we're probably going to go straight back down. I think I'm just going to tell the players that I'm happy with promotion. We know it's going to be hard playing at a higher level. We'll do what we can to stay up. The players are happy, I'm happy, although there is a looming sense of dread as well. In terms of achievements, though, that I've done in Football Manager, this might be one of my best in terms of average possession, 58%. But the reason I'm here is to look at the salary per year, where our salary per year spend is less than £4 million. Look at that compared to some of the teams we've gone head-to-head with this year. It's been a crazy overperformance. I think we've done some really, really good recruitment. I feel like the pressure's going to be on to continue that trend and just set ourselves up now with a platform for, well, what is more than likely going to be a relegation season next year. I know there's some people rolling their eyes at that thinking, Jack, you say every year you're going to struggle and you do fine. No, the Premier League, if you've never managed England, the Premier League is this ridiculous step up. It is a behemoth. And despite all the money you get, all the other teams get a lot of money as well. More good news, by the way, our youth category's gone from Category 4 to Category 3. It's going to cost us £2 million a year to maintain, but more good improvement in terms of infrastructure. I'm hitting continue here, waiting for like the end of season wrap-up thing. I feel like it should have popped up by now. Have I missed it? Have I missed our end of season ceremony? That would be awkward. Maybe I was out on the town celebrating too much. I'll hit continue a little bit more and we'll see what happens. I'll tell you what, you know we're big time now because Club Bruges have invited us to play in a friendly cup. We'll accept that. We are big time now. Known across Europe / in Belgium. You know what? Today's already been a really long episode and I feel like the end of season thing just isn't popping up. So maybe we'll come back and kick off next episode with that. I'm thinking that the transfer special is going to be at least 2 episodes. It might be 3 episodes. That might be dragging it out too long. I just feel like there's so much to deal with here. Have you got any words of advice, encouragement? What would you like to see? I feel like this summer's going to be a weird one. I don't even know what the plan is. This was never meant to happen. Also, apparently we've moved stadiums again. We're now playing in Sutton United Stadium. We're now sharing a stadium with a League 2 team. I guess Exeter's ground wasn't big enough for the Premier League next year. I mean, we are still due to move into our own stadium, but not until next summer. We've got a new stadium that we're going to be playing in. We've got a new division we're going to be playing in. There's lots to go on in the next few days. I'm stressed. I'm excited. This is absolutely bonkers. The reality hasn't set in. We've got a load of money to spend to somehow get this team ready for the Premier League. It's going to be tough. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please do make sure to drop a like on it. We will be back tomorrow with a transfer special, so I'll see you guys for that then. Until next time, take it easy. It's me, Jack, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.